Dark Homicide, Episode 2, The Last Breath of Drakmor. Wind whispered through the cracked spires of Drakmor, once the jewel of Krythar's brutal dominion. Its obsidian towers lay in broken silhouettes against a blood-orange sky, the horizon haunted by the hum of dead machines and the shadows of memory. Fires long extinguished still scarred the earth, bones littered the streets like scattered secrets. In the center of the city, buried beneath layers of scorched marble and fallen monuments, Ilyra Vex stood alone in what had once been the Hall of Tyrants. The stained glass dome above her had collapsed, shards of red and black littering the floor like frozen blood. Statues of warlords, now faceless, headless, guarded a silence that stretched 13 years long. She knelt beside a rusted throne, fingertips trailing over claw marks scorched into the stone. Her eyes glowed faintly, silver flickering like a dying candle. She wasn't born when the war began, but she'd been born from it. She was Umbravian, and she was alone. Kyle Umbros, she whispered, tracing the name etched into the throne's base. You ended the world, but you couldn't save it. Behind her, footsteps, quiet, cautious. I told you not to come alone, said a deep voice, smooth and layered with fatigue. Tarsen Vaal, an ex-technician from the ruins of Astelion, stepped into the light. His right arm was a mechanical graft, rusted, exposed wires twitching slightly with every movement. His left eye glowed faint blue, a remnant of a neural link implant that no longer had a server to talk to. I had to see it, Ilyra said. This is where it broke, all of it. This is where Kyle ended Krythar. Tarsen nodded grimly, and began something worse. They stood in silence for a moment. The wind moaned through the ruins like the world itself was weeping. Tarsen's gaze swept across the shattered hall. Back in the day, he muttered, Krythar held executions here. The generals made their people cheer. I hacked their broadcast once, forced them to watch their own soldiers burn during a counterstrike. Thought I was doing good. Thought we had a chance. You fought against the Umbravians, Ilyra said softly. Tarsen looked away. I fought for survival. Same as everyone, doesn't mean I was right. Ilyra turned to face him fully. I don't want to be like them. Not like Kale, or Siveth, or Vera. I need to know the truth. Tarsen exhaled. The truth's buried, but maybe not forever. He reached into his coat and pulled out a small battered holodisk. This, he said, holding it up, is a partial data core from the Astelion deep vaults. Before Pyre fell, we uploaded classified research on the celestial fragments, the things that gave your people Noctyra. It's encrypted, corrupted. But I've recovered fragments. He placed the disk on a slab of stone. With a flick of his cybernetic fingers, a blue projection sparked into life. A voice echoed in the space. Female, clinical. Project origin, final log. The fragments are not natural. Their energy signatures match no known cosmic material. They are responsive, conscious. We theorize they were sent, not by chance, but by design. The recipients, humans exposed to prolonged contact, develop alterations at a genetic and psychic level. We call this strain Noctyra. Ilyra stared. Sent? Tarsen nodded. Astelion believed they were weapons, or scouts, not from this solar system. Then, someone sent them to Earth? Not just that, Tarsen said, lowering the projection. The final log mentioned something else. A term, the Harbingers, and a name that came up again and again in broken fragments. What name? Tarsen hesitated. Virexan. The word rang in Ilyra's mind like a forgotten dream. Suddenly, the wind outside shifted. A crackling buzz filled the air. Tarsen's eye blinked red. Motion sensors, he muttered. We're not alone. Ilyra backed away from the throne, hand reaching for her belt. Her weapon, the null blade, was a hybrid, part steel, part shadow. Gifted to her by her late mentor, it vibrated as the Noctyra in her blood pulsed. From the shadows of the ruined archways, 3 figures emerged, cloaked in scorched red, faces hidden behind reflective visors, silent priors, leftovers of Umbravia's corrupted sect. They worshipped the Noctyra as divine law and hunted all who questioned it. By the order of the eternal Umbral Order, one of them rasped, you possess forbidden knowledge. Ilyra stepped forward, her silver eyes bright. I'm not part of your order. No, said the prior, drawing a curved staff that shimmered with energy. You're a mistake. Before he could move, Ilyra lunged. Her blade flashed, cutting a ribbon through the air as she ducked beneath the staff's strike. The ground cracked beneath her as she twisted and sliced, cleaving the first prior's arm off in one motion. He screamed, his blood hissing as it touched the stone. Tarsen raised a hidden pulse gun from beneath his cloak and fired. A blue beam scorched the air and dropped the second prior. The third one hissed, but before he could react, Ilyra's blade plunged into his chest. Silence returned. Ilyra panted slightly, her blade dripping with black-red ichor. Guess they don't like questions, she muttered. Tarsen walked over, checking the corpses. The fact they're here means someone's watching. The Order's still alive, and they know we're looking. Ilyra stared at the holodisk, still glowing faintly. Then we need to move fast, she said. We need to find out what Virexan is, what these harbingers are, before they come again. Tarsen looked at her, the ghost of a smile forming. You sound like a general. She sheathed her blade. I'm not. I'm a survivor, and I want to make sure there's something left to survive for. As the sun sank behind the ruins of Drakmor, a distant rumble echoed across the horizon. In the ashes of a dead world, the seeds of truth had begun to grow.